Alright, so this caught me off guard. I did not expect for this to happen. Apparently, the Assassination Classroom manga is ending in, well, I guess now 4 chapters, 4 or 5 chapters, I guess 4 now. And that is shocking as fuck because, first of all, this manga in particular exploded before an anime was even, announced or anything like that. This manga was one of those out-of-the-gate hits. I remember one of the very early volumes, maybe 1, 2, or 3, sold like 600,000 copies first week sales, which is phenomenal, insane for not having an anime and stuff like that. So for that to happen, I'm like, yo, this is a huge success. So it having almost a 4-year run, I believe it came out July of 2012. We're going in, we're in 2016 now, a few more months to make it 4 years now. So for it to have such a short run is kind of interesting and surprising at the same time, because you would think that Jump ideally would like to stretch this out as long as possible. Now, also it having this 5-chapter countdown, I think that's something new that Jump is doing for series that, have been around a while. They did it with Naruto. It was a very sad time, a sad month, and now they're doing it with Assassination Classroom. It just kind of has me wondering, like, is it the author that is like, you know what? I made a popular series. I want to get off this before I end up being the Assassination Classroom guy and not a mangaka. Because Toriyama, for example, let's just say they didn't keep on pushing him to keep on going and he stopped Dragon Ball Z at the Frieza arc. Mind you, I personally love everything after that as well, but he could have probably made another huge series after that if he wasn't so burnt out from doing Dragon Ball all those years. He was doing it for what? I don't even know, about 10 years or so. I think 84 was the beginning of Dragon Ball, and I think 94, 96 is when the manga ended for Dragon Ball Z. So imagine he could have created, his next big project if he wasn't so burnt out, if he would have ended it after Frieza, which, there's back and forth arguments if he said that, he didn't say that. It seems to be the way the structure of the story was that, yeah, it was going to probably end around the Frieza arc. So if he would have ended it around there, he probably would have made something else. And that's where, it ties into this, is that maybe with him ending it early, Assassination Classroom, if it indeed is his choice and not, the editors of Jump, which I don't see why would anybody at Jump or Shueisha say, hey, we're making loads of money, you better stop writing that shit. Like, that's not gonna happen. So it's more than likely his call, his contract is coming, and he's like, you know what, I want to do something different, which that's a risky move as well, because you got to remember that this is their livelihood, this is their career. He ends Assassination Classroom, his next work might not be a hit. Nobody might give a fuck about it. It might just be, just like Kuroko no Basket. Like, that was a huge step for him to end it. He could have done something else. He could have done, the college years or something like that, but he ended it and, wanted to try something different. If it doesn't work, then, it's a bad decision. But I think I gotta respect, at the very least, that he's deciding, again, if indeed it is this case, that he's deciding, okay, you know what? It had its run. I pretty much reached the conclusion. I'm going to cut it off here, and is ending Assassination Classroom. By the way, I mean, for the fans of it, I personally only read about 20, 30 chapters, so I'm not a big fan of it. I enjoyed what I read, but I wasn't too into Assassination Classroom. But for the fans of it, it really does fucking suck, because I know me, for example, in my favorite series, whenever they come to an end, I'm like, oh no. But at the same time, again, I gotta respect the author for making this decision. Let's quickly read the article. This year's 12th issue of Shueisha's weekly Shonen Jump magazine is revealing on Monday that Yusei Matsui's Assassination Classroom manga will end in 5 more chapters. The issue states that the manga will end in Weekly Shonen Jump's 16th issue, which will ship in March. The manga's end is coinciding with the end of the academic year in Japan and Japan's graduation season. Weekly Shonen Jump is also starting a graduation countdown for the manga in the 12th issue. The 12th issue will feature a comment and an illustration by Matsui regarding the manga's ending. The magazine's 11th issue had teased that the 12th issue would feature the manga's final mission climax and the conclusion of the fated battle. The 11th issue also had teased that the 12th issue would include a super important announcement for Assassination Classroom, which is obviously this announcement. But with it having that countdown, who knows, maybe there could be some sort of spin-off that's coming after. Maybe he's gonna have Kuro Sensei goes to college or some shit like that. You never really know. Maybe this could be just him doing his, Dragon Ball Z type of thing, or his Shippuden, who knows. I mean, I'm not really caught up to date. I know that it's been seeming like it's gonna wrap up for a while now, but it's kind of interesting. And either way, I don't know. I think it's something different for Jump to actually do that, especially with it only being roughly almost 4 years. It's surprising. But let me know what you guys think. If you're a big Assassination Classroom fan, are you bummed out? Do you think there's a possibility of a spin-off or a sequel series? And if he makes another manga after this, would you be willing to read it based on what you thought of Assassination Classroom? But thanks for watching. If you enjoyed anything about this video, make sure to drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and stalk my Facebook if you want more from me when the video ends. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.